Good afternoon on what is a mild, bright and breezy day. It is Sunday, the 29th of September, and I'm in the reading nook with a nice hot cup of tea and a box to continue unboxing. And what I've got in here is this, the Order of the Stone, which is the latest campaign for Call of Cthulhu, published by Chaosium. It has literally just been released this week. I've just got my copy. So, The Order of the Stone, a horror mystery in 3 parts. In Ireland, an archaeological team unearths an ancient horror trapped within 3 stone vessels. The foul entity sets its followers on a journey to free it from its prison, crossing the Atlantic to New England and the backwoods of rural Massachusetts. Can the investigators prevent the liberation of the ruler of chaos? Will they discover the secrets of the Order of the Stone? Okay, inside you'll find a 3-part 1920s era mystery, ideal for Arkham-based campaigns. 6 pre-generated investigators included, suite of download scenarios including maps, resources, handouts, and characters. The Order of the Stone is designed to be used with the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game or with the Pulp Cthulhu supplement, both available separately. So this is it's a 3-part mini campaign, really on the same kind of scale as a Cold Fire Within, which is the campaign for Pulp Cthulhu. What is noticeable about this is that it's sort of come out after the release of Call of Cthulhu Arkham, the version of the Arkham City sourcebook for Call of Cthulhu 7th edition, which is very good. And if it's saying that this is suitable for use with that setting book, then that's going to be a great addition. The fact that it's a relatively slim, small campaign means it's going to give it a good start at that setting, a good start and help bring it to life, as well as, of course, sending the player characters, the investigators, off to various different regions of, as they say, backwoods Massachusetts. And it has to be said, there isn't actually, I'm trying to think of scenarios which are set in Ireland, and they're very far and few between. There is the Mysteries of Ireland, Miskatonic University Library Association monograph, but it's very hard to track down. But other than that, this may start in Ireland, whether or not it's, presumably it does, because the first chapter is Terror on the SS Champagne. So here does actually start in Ireland. You've got the dig. You've got notes there on how to run this Pulp versus Cthulhu, whether you're talking standard Call of Cthulhu or Pulp Call of Cthulhu. You've got an overview of the campaign, a map of the Miskatonic region or Miskatonic Valley region, factions involved, structure of the campaign, and so on. And then we does discuss the options for changing the time period. Essentially, there's notes on there adapting it to the modern period, as well as to the Cthulhu by Gaslight. Now, Cthulhu by Gaslight tends to focus upon the United Kingdom, Victorian period, and not so much upon essentially the Gilded Age of the 1890s in the United States. So here we've got a detailed overview of the campaign background, details of the dig and the voyage. And then we've got sort of like, one of the vessels, and timeline of events. And here we start off with Terror on the SS Champagne, campaign proper, list of the dramatis personae, various NPCs, how to introduce the investigators into the campaign, creating new ones if necessary. And then let's have a look. Campaign starts, so Miskatonic calling. So getting involved with Mystical University or being part of the Mystical University, whether as a student or on the faculty, or just simply traveling home, starboard home. Um, which comes from the acronym POSH, port out, starboard home. Start 3, attached as old salts, old sea folk. We've got an overview of the SS Champagne, and it's interesting to note that for the most part, there are scenarios and campaigns which do take the player characters, the investigators, across the Atlantic, typically, and like the Mauritania from the Asylum and Other Tales, and that tends to be going the other way from New York to Europe, and then events lead up to an collision with the SS Champagne and a discovery of what's going on aboard. Because it's always fun to discover a ship at sea with strange things going on, been abandoned. You've got a list of possible bouts of madness that the player characters can suffer whilst they're dealing with a ship in a storm. Manifest of all the passengers. There we go. And ultimately how to deal with the problem, which is sink the ship. And then we've got essentially at ship events, other things going on board ship. Like first contact with the Gran, and more. And then we've got basically come to conclusion, and the player characters, the investigators, rowing away from the lost ship as it sinks. And that's the first scenario. First part of the campaign. You've got lists of the characters and monsters. And then we move on to Murder and Greyport. How to run the chapter. List of the various NPCs, the dramatis personae, with an option there for a love triangle, perhaps involving one of the investigators. But some really nice illustrations here of the various NPCs. Because Chaosium has got much better at illustrating NPCs in the scenarios. And here we have actual details of the port, Greyport. I'm not quite sure whether that's reprinted again, whether that's the keeper's map. So Leicester's kind of obvious as to what's going on here. But you've got, I think it's more open to exploration rather than directed adventure aboard a vessel. So you've got listed possible town events, including Cannery confrontation, discovering that there's another cult involved, in addition to the one aboard the vessel, the Champagne. What happens when player characters fall the wrong side of the law, run into mob involvement, and so on. Obviously, the crime of passion, perhaps running in with the love triangle, then tracking down the culprits behind it all. Conclusion, we've got the various NPC stats, the monsters and the characters, and then we have the hunt, the final And third part of the mini campaign, how to get the investigators involved. You've got guidance on running the chapter. Again, full list of the dramatis personae involved. And options, how to start the scenario, including old friends, if things went well in Greyport, if things turned sour in Greyport, looking at those options, how to connect them from that scenario to this one. Some nice handouts here. The scenario is definitely going to take the player characters, the investigators, out into the woods, up onto Camp Lake Chopper. Go. At least one poor unfortunate is going to fall to his doom from atop the watchtower. And on the far side of the lake is going to lead to other danger. And the discovery of colonial ruins. Leading to a finale of the whole campaign. And you've got the stats for the characters and monsters. And including an image of a Gran Talan, the twin horror. That's what the investigators are attempting to prevent from being summoned. And then we've got the appendices, starting off with tomes and spells. Full list of the crew of the Foggy FF Foggy Sea, one of the vessels that they'll be aboard. And this basically crew pre-generated investigators. So this is actually, you can start off play as the crew of a vessel, which is an interesting kind of sort of like role to take. So these are all nicely done. These can also be just essentially just easily photocopied or downloaded and printed out, handed to your players. Author biographies, and then you've got the index, and that, including the appendices and an index of handouts and maps at the end. That's very useful. And that is The Order of the Stone, a horror mystery in 3 parts for Call of Cthulhu. Really nice, slim affair. Will take sort of like not that many sessions to complete, I would imagine. You're probably talking 2 or 3, maybe 4 sessions per part at the most, I would have thought. So not a lengthy campaign by any means. Anyway, that's The Order of the Stone for Call of Cthulhu or Pop Cthulhu, published by Chaosium. I do hope you enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you did, then please do click on the like button down below. And if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with box containing a book or game, or in this case a campaign for Call of Cthulhu, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice cup of tea, then do please click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.